Hello everyone, my name is Nianqi Wu and I am the project manager for the performance project. This training video is targeted at project managers who are taking over the performance project, but anyone is welcome to take a look at it and see what the performance project is about. So let me begin by giving you a quick introduction of the purpose. And it's pretty straightforward. We're just trying to build a system that is effective and it takes only a reasonable amount of resources for people to do. The second one is obviously to conduct a performance project, but in this video we're only talking about the building part because that's the current stage of things. Starting off, I want to introduce some cool ideas that is fundamental to the performance appraisal system. First off, we have the investment, and that's basically two components. One is the investment of time and resources that you and your team will put into building the system. The other is once the system is complete, how much time and resources people will put. People who engaged in the actual evaluation part will spend. Then we have the criteria. In order to, evaluate performance, we must first define what performance is. In this link, it will lead you to the project plan for the performance project, and in it I have give a pretty broad definition of performance, and it is just the behaviors that people do to complete their tasks or achieve their work goals. So here I want to draw a distinction between performance and the performance outcome. Let's take a salesperson, for example. This person's performance would be selling the products to clients, and the performance outcome will be the value or like the value of sales and the profit of sales. Most frequently we do use the outcome to kind of like indicate the performance, but I want you to keep this in mind that the outcome and the performance, they're not the same concept. On the same topic of indicators, there are basically two broad categories of indicators that you use to evaluate performance. One is the subjective. That's like the idea, the thoughts, the feelings, or like the just kind of like a general impression of someone's performance is. The objective is kind of like, yeah, it's pretty solid, you can understand it, you can see them in records or just the performance outcomes too. They're considered objective too. So there are a couple common methods to evaluate performance. So we have the performance ratings. It can be a rating from self-rating, self-report, that kind of stuff, and it can be from co-workers, can be from supervisors, and if it's client-facing, if the job is client-facing, it can be from clients too. Then we have the tangible outcomes. These are more, objective. You can see them in unofficial record, and you can use them to distinguish performance among the people. So from this point on, there are some, additional ideas or actions you can, do. That's going to help you improve the system. First is the fairness. And here we're not just talking about the fairness for people with different race, color, or like background like that. We're also talking about fairness when you are not comparing but rating say a salesperson's job and a programmer's job. Like how do you make, a system that's fair for both of them? Then we have, also fairness for different commitment, job commitment. Like, people may spend only 10 hours a week on the job, or they may spend 20 hours. And as you know, that the more time that people spend on a job, they get more things done. So how do you make it fair for this kind of situation? And also we have like, how are you going to be fair for people who are like 6 weeks into the job, or like 6 months that's into the job? So these are basically some questions that you are going to ask yourself and your team. Second, we have the validity. This is kind of like a advanced topic, and you would use it to, indicate the effectiveness of this entire system. And it's going to, take quite the effort, because it requires the validation studies. Um, I don't see it as necessary here at Resilience, but if you are moving down a career path that you might think you will get involved in designing and building a performance system, or most importantly, a selection system, then you definitely want to get into this topic and just understand its concept, its process, and so on. Lastly, we have the construction of the ratings. You should know that there's many different forms of surveys or ratings that people actually use to get their to evaluate employees' performance. So this book chapter here provides a pretty broad overview of many of the methods there. Um, Once you made the decision of like which method or methods you want to use, you need to go to your university library or Google Scholar, or maybe just simple Googling it about the details and steps that's actually used in those methods. Finally, that's all I have. At least that's all I can think of for now. If you have any questions, send me an email, or in the case that you are replacing someone else, that's on me. You definitely want to talk to that person, because things may get changed, progress are definitely going to be made, and by the time, I'm just not going to be the most knowledgeable person on this project anymore. Yeah, that's all I have for now. Definitely good luck on this project. I hope you enjoy this project and resilience internship, in general. Thank you.